All right, now let's look at number 5 now. So number 5, let's put this into our calculator, and you can make a table, by hand if you want to, and we know how to do that. So, but anyway, let me show you how this one looks on the calculator. So first of all, like I said, I think the best thing to do is graph. The best thing to do first is a graph. That way you can kind of see. So I'm going to push the graph button here. And that gets me to this. So here's your graph button. Okay, so put it in y equals, push your graph button. Here we can see pretty obviously what our answer is, right? Because this parabola, the vertex is below the x-axis and it's facing down, so it's never going to cross the x-axis, right? There are going to be no solutions / roots / zeros / x-intercepts, okay? And so here's one where we can right away just say no real solution. Okay. All right. Now, let's say that you forgot to push the graph button, or you went to the table first, and that's okay. But let me show you what that looks like. So if you go second table or second graph, then what you're going to get is a table that looks like this, right? And so I just wanted to show you, and I scrolled up a little bit, and I set my table back to the normal table, and so, set my delta table back to 1 is what, just to be more specific there. And so you can see here, I went down to the point where it got its highest, right? It was negative, then it kind of started going positive, and then the closest it got to 0 was -3, and then it started going negative again, right? Okay, and so so -3 is the maximum, actually, right? It's the y value of the vertex, and it's facing down, so it's a maximum. So that's the highest it actually gets, so it never crosses 0. So you can see there's no point where it turns positive, and so we don't have the point where we're like, oh, it's between this and this, because it never turns positive. It never goes from negative to positive, never goes from positive to negative. Okay, in fact, it's just never positive at all. So, so in this case, that's how we tell by a table that there's no real solution, is by seeing that, oh yeah, well, there's no point that it changes sign. Now, let's say that you forgot to do the graph, or you didn't look at the graph first, and you did second trace 2, and you did left bound, right bound. Hopefully at that point you'll see that it doesn't cross. But let's say you did left bound, right bound, enter, and then you guessed and you push enter. Then your calculator will actually give you an error, and it'll say no sign change. And that's the exact reason why, right? Is because it doesn't change from negative to positive, or in some cases from positive to negative, if it's above and doesn't ever go below. All right, so anyway, so that's how you tell that it's no solution, and all you really have to write is no solution for no real solution for your answer. Okay, and once again, if you just look at the graph, you can go straight there. You don't have to look at the table or do the second trace calc menu. So, all right. But I just want to show you what all that looks like if you happen to go there, or just to kind of show you the conceptual reason why, or the conceptual evidence of why it's no real solution.